A couple of tweets. Here was one. The funniest part of Fritzy's Halloween names is the part where he explains them all. That's how jokes work, right? That's my favorite when Fritzy goes, he'll Mike Myers. Mike Myers.
Lon Kruger.
Lon Kruger.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, no.
How could you pass on the name Kruger even though it's not relevant necessarily to 2018? You see the name Kruger, how could you not make that a Halloween name?
Where does he coach now?
I know he was with the Hawks for a while. Wasn't he with Iowa State or something?
If you
with
can
the Bulls?
guess.
He was with the Bulls for a little while.
If you can guess, then you get to do the nicknames
no
next
idea
year.
where Lon Kruger is now.
Right. Do you think he might be at Oregon?
It's possible. There is a possibility.
Could he be at Oklahoma?
That sounds good too.
Okay.
Nebraska?
Next year, you can't use any of these names that you used this year.
Going to leave me with very little material, which I have anyway.
And the same thing with Valentine's Day and Christmas.
But there's only a finite number of names.
But I want to ask the audience to help you.
If you get rid of Bobby Valentine or Ellis Valentine or Jim Hart, or candy-related names, you're in trouble there. Pete Rose, these are, Larry Flowers, these are the Valentine's names.
Peekaboo Street.
Peekaboo Street.
Oh.
There you go. Louis Lips. I always like that one.
That was Burger Time 44 who sent that in. See, the audience can help you.
They can. They're far more funny than I'll ever be.
Yeah, they're going to help you help yourself.
I get very frustrated and competitive. I say how did I leave that one out? And there's another one, and another one comes in.
I know.
I thought I was Mr. Clever, but obviously I'm not.
Yes, Paulie.
Fan of the show, Jeff Wood said Miles Jack-O-Lantern.
Miles Jack? Okay.
There you go.
I mean, that's less of a stretch than some of the other ones you had.
If I said Miles Jack-O-Lantern, I would get crushed for that.
You wouldn't get crushed because I would say that at least you have a name of somebody who is still playing and somebody who is relevant.
It's fine when you take the listeners and the viewers side over me. I should be used to that.
Todd,
that's just the way it is.
Todd, the nicknames are horrible.
If someone called in right now or sent it on Twitter or Facebook, how about Oil Candy Boyd?
No,
and you'd be like, oh, that's great. How come you didn't use Oil Candy Boyd?
No, I wouldn't.
That's a great one. Should have led with that one.
It's Oil Can Boyd, and it's from the 80s.
Miles Jack-O-Lantern? That's good for you. I know you don't want to hurt the viewers and listeners' feelings.
But Todd, I'm comparing them to yours, so yes, they're better.
Miles Jack-O-Lantern.
You should have led with that. Toddler.
Should have been obvious. Miles Jack-O-Lantern. I'm really upset that I think I messed up this Jared Goff situation. I was so obsessed with trying to come up with the perfect Halloween sports names that one of the biggest names in sports right now, certainly in the NFL, and I can't find them.
Okay, but I don't want him to be viewed as the bad guy.
No, if anything, I'd probably be the bad guy there.
Well, who else would it be?
It would be me.
Okay. God.
I had it down. I dot the I's and cross the T's. Wednesday, 7:03 Pacific, and all of a sudden I think it's going to be Thursday, 7:03 Pacific.
But there's no I's and T's in Jared Goff. So you can't dot the I and cross the T.
That's part of the reason why.
Rams.
It's part of the reason why you didn't interview him 20 minutes ago. I screwed something up.
Do you think that maybe California, you were dotting the I in California where he went to school?
I have been known to mess up the time zones. For all I know, he could be calling in 3 hours from now, and then we're not going to know when's going to be here. That has happened.
This was just sent in. Webster Slaughter.
All right, that's a good one.
That's a double, too, because of web, like a spider web.
Okay.
That's double points.
It's not great because it's
no
Webster
Miles Jack-O-Lantern, that's for sure. Let's call it what it is.
Why can't you take constructive
criticism? I never have been able to.
You would
when I was in school, if anything other than telling me I was the perfect student, it was devastating to me.
But you finished number 2 in your class.
I know, but that's not number 1. That's of all the other smart kids, I was the best of that group of the kids that were in valedictorian.
Have you ever seen somebody for this? Have you ever talked to a therapist?
I've chatted with somebody, not very long. I just said, "Can you just give me the meds and then we can move on?" I wasn't in the mood to get into a whole lay on the couch and tell them my whole life story. But you can give me a little Xanax and something to help me sleep, then we'll move on.
Yes, Paul.
Can you imagine what that therapist is in for in that 45 to 50 minutes?
And they'd be looking at their watch, going, "Oh God!"
They wouldn't get a word in.
Yeah, and then Fritzy would stay. He would just stay on the couch, just keep talking.
I'm aware the appointment's almost up, but I have a few more things to go to. Probably 4th grade.
All right. Ask for some help with these nicknames, and it'll be better. It'll be a whole lot better. You'd rather go down in flames with your own than to have somebody make it a little bit better.
Doesn't that say like horrible things about my character that I feel that way? That I can't just like.
I don't think it's horrible things about your character.
I just think you want it to like come from you, but you're right. If there could be something a lot better on the horizon, if you're willing to A, take constructive criticism, B, let other people share in the ideas and use those ideas.
But this goes back to your stand-up act with comedy, because I can't imagine you in a room with, if I put you in there with Spade and Sandler and Chris Rock, and I say, hey, could you help Fritzy come up with, some jokes here, routine, that you would be open to listening to their jokes. Because
those guys I hold in extremely high regard. I would be foolish to not
I don't know.
to certainly use their ideas. But there's something about say this joke and then you spit out the joke from someone else just seems strange to me.
Yes.
Even though I know they do it.
Do you know, like Kevin Hart, the comedian, he has a handful of people who write for him. He's not the only writer. He's a performer, but he's not the only writer. A lot of these, like Jeff Ross, writes for other comedians.
Well, look at what Letterman had, his writing staff. Johnny Carson had an unbelievable writing
the
staff.
Letterman writing staff is like 20 deep.
I mean, Conan O'Brien was writing. He was on a writing staff. I mean, SNL has all those writers that don't go on the air.
I don't know why I don't embrace that more.
Yeah.
Like it didn't originate. It wasn't an original thought from your head that you're just performing, like you're acting out what, lines from just like you'd be an actor in a play. And here's the dialogue and, you say it, what we wrote.
Clippers owner Steve Embalmer.
Ooh. I'm still sticking with Miles Jack-O-Lantern as leader of the clubhouse.
Yeah, Steve on Twitter sent that one in. Miles Jack-O-Lantern is good, and you know that.
That's pretty good.
It is. It's pretty good.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.